time.
Thank you again to New South Wales. Dr Chant and I have been asking people to come forward and get tested, and in the last 24-hour batch we had more than 9,400 people come forward and get tested, another outstanding result. Please remember, if you have the slightest symptoms, if you think you might have the cold, please come forward and get tested. You could have the virus, and we need to make sure we recognise and identify anyone with the virus so that we can stop the spread. And out of those 9,400 cases, there were only tests, there were only 4 additional cases overnight. So again, a very pleasing result. I want to thank the community for your patience, but also for heeding the advice we're giving, because as we ease restrictions, the more people that come forward and get tested, the better our ability to monitor the spread, but also to consider further restrictions being eased. As I've been saying, in May we see schools go back next week, and I'm very pleased with the reports we're getting on the readiness of our schools for next week. So we've got extra cleaning in place, we've got extra supplies that have been provided, and of course extra information for parents, teachers and principals to make sure the transition back to school is as smooth as possible, because we want to make sure face-to-face teaching every day for all students happens as quickly as we can in New South Wales. We also appreciate the increase in the number of shops that are opening their doors, and we welcome that, but we ask both the managers of those stores but also the customers to make sure you practice good social distancing when you're in those stores. Make sure you wash your hands before and after, make sure that you keep the distance that's been recommended, and make sure you do approach your activity as safely as possible. And of course, with Mother's Day and another weekend coming along, we know that there'll be more visitations to people's houses, and we ask people to do that safely, especially if you're visiting an older person, a vulnerable person. Please consider how you might conduct that visit to keep everybody safe. And looking forward to the discussions at National Cabinet today. National Cabinet will be considering the order in which restrictions may be eased and when that may occur. But as I said yesterday, please be conscious of the fact that we're making sure all states have the ability to have their own timetable within that framework. And New South Wales will be considering the data we collect in May to make sure that any further consideration of easing restrictions will be done in a good way, in a solid way, so that we continue to gain ground in fighting the virus and we don't lose ground. I want New South Wales to keep moving forward and not having to move backwards, and that's why it's important for us to do this in a gradual way. I also wanted to share with you this morning perhaps a fact which people had assumed had finished, but we're still welcoming Australians back from overseas in New South Wales. At this point in time, we have around 3,500 people still in hotels, and I wanted to provide an update to say that since the borders were controlled, that we've had over 13,000 people in hotels in New South Wales. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Minister Ayres, who I charged with having responsibility on behalf of the government for overseeing this. I want to thank the hotel industry. We've had 31 major hotels involved in this process and their staff. And so whilst it's been a difficult task, it's made sure that those hotels and their staff have been involved in a very important task, but also keeping them employed. And also the various organisations we've contracted out of those facilities to provide food and other support services. And of course, our health officials, who've made sure both the physical and mental health of those people in quarantine is safe and sound. And at this point in time, we still have over 3,000 people in hotels. And as more people are released from quarantine or leave quarantine, we're accepting other plane loads of people still coming in, and I'll ask Minister Ayres to comment on that in greater detail. But I did want to thank everybody involved in that process. In the main, those people who've experienced the 2 weeks in quarantine have left feeling satisfied with the kind of service they received for that period, and I know it's been difficult, but this is part of the job we're doing behind the scenes to keep everybody safe and to make sure we control the spread. So I just wanted to acknowledge that today and to thank the police, Minister Ayres and the health officials and the hotel industry for really stepping up and allowing us to undertake this mammoth job. And more often than not, some of those people who've been coming in have then been taken flights onwards to their own home state. Most of those residents are from New South Wales, but some are from other states, and then we've facilitated that as well. So just a big thank you again to everybody for the role you've taken in keeping everybody safe. And of course, we're looking forward to everybody enjoying Mother's Day. But as I said yesterday, any decisions that come out of National Cabinet won't be applied in New South Wales over the weekend. So please stick to the existing rules and please make sure we make the most of a very special day for all of our special mums. Thank you.